Right then, get back to this Supra, and today is the day, hopefully, that this engine is going back in. So, as you can see, I've cleared a path through here. Ignore Steve there, he's giving us an hand. So yeah, I've got the engine here, it's ready to go, it's on its own little trolley, so we're just going to wheel it out through there and get it ready to go in.
Oh, I've got the heavy end. There's nothing at this end, is there? Got an hand? He's a machine.
I could feel me. Right, so that's the engine already out. So the next thing to grab is the crane. The reason we're doing it this way around is then when the crane, if I did do it this way, it won't be bouncing around like that and potentially falling over. So it's now just a case of getting the crane outside and getting a lift on. Yeah, so we're going to all fold it up, ready to go out. Stuck. So now in place, we've got the crane ready to go. Next thing I need is the spanners just to loosen off the engine mounts, and then we can lift it out of this little bogie and get it loaded into the actual engine bay. So in that time lapse there, you'll probably notice there's a bit of struggling going on, and that's mainly because the crane and the way in which it's mounted there and there, it cocked the engine over to the point that we couldn't physically get the mounting points in. So as you see, this side still not fully down yet, but it's in place. This side we had to completely remove these bolts and the whole thing off the side, get that side somewhat in, relift the engine so it pulls it over, and then we were pulling the engine as well to get these back in. So all that's left to do now is the 4 bolts that are underneath here on the back end of the gearbox. I don't know if you can see that there, it's dark. But yeah, there's the gearbox mount to put in, and then the engine is pretty much there. And as you can hear, the weather's changed and it's now persisting it down, so yeah, but we are very, very close. Right, so I've got the mounting plate here. Unfortunately I thought I had new bolts, but I don't, so I'm going to have to reuse the old ones. I've got some new nuts on the TRD mounting plate under here, so I'm just going to get on with taking these off, and then we'll get the back end of the gearbox loaded in properly, and then we can lower the front of the car, front of the engine down, and get it fully sat on them mounts too. So I'm going to crack on with this under here and see how far we get. Right, so that's the 2 bolts done on the gearbox end. I'm going to order some new ones and then we can go from there. So now I'm just going to do is lower this down to close up these gaps in this mount here. The other side's pretty much done. We've just got this side to do, and then the engine's in. Happy days. So there we go, it's in. It's actually in.
It's in. Oh my god, it's in.
For first time in, I think it's first time in about 10 years. So it's a massive, massive moment that. So I'm well happy. Steve's just stood there like, no, it's alright. But yeah, we've managed it, got it in. Obviously, like I said, there's a few bolts underneath that I'm going to get some new replacements for. But now everything, like the engine block's in, I can start with the exhaust manifold, the inlet manifold, make sure everything's going to fit as I want it to fit. And then just take it from there really, and just plod on with a few bits and pieces. So hopefully we'll carry on. So just out of curiosity, we've thrown the turbo on, thrown the inlet manifold on just to see how everything fits. Got plenty of clearance down there, although we didn't think we were going to. And the same on this side. This was a bit more snug to get in because of how close it is to a couple of brackets and stuff here, but it's in. So yeah. So it probably don't come across on camera, but I am genuinely over the moon that this engine is in. Genuinely. Because I'm not joking, I pulled this engine out, I got one of those flashback images, you know, from Facebook, and it said, I think it was about 10 years ago I took this engine out of the car. So I've had all housework, I've had kids, we've had an extension, so now it's time for a car, and I'm just like, oh my days, and 10 years waiting. So this is super exciting for me, so I just need to get on with it now. Hopefully this is going to be on the road for next year, but obviously finances and all that lot, we'll see where we get to, won't we? But yes, so currently under here it's looking a little bit worse for wear. There is one little job that I do need to do, and at the moment, as you can see, the bumper is just down here on the floor for the rear end. So basically I've had these plates made, I measured up the holes, and a lot of workers plasma cut me the PCDs out on these. So yeah, I've got these little plates to go on here, because if you remember from ages ago, the original rear crash bar that was on here, it was just totally rusty, to the point that it just crumbled away. So what I've got is those plates made up, and I've got this, basically a bit of ox section that I used as it was just a cross member on the underside of the car for when I wanted to jack it up when I had no subframes on it. So I'm just going to use that, which basically it's all it needs is just a crash bar. So if somebody rear ends me, it takes the impact instead of the actual car chassis itself. But if they hit me hard enough, it's not going to make a jot of difference anyway. So, but yeah, so that is my job for today, and that'll probably be the last part of this video. And hopefully from then on, I'll start getting some exciting stuff going on in engine bay for you. So I'm going to get on with this now, and we'll see where we get to. So threads on this stud here were extremely crusty, so I've just had to give them a bit of a cleaning up with this, because it was just starting to chew up the threads in the nut. So that's a lot better now. Nut. Give that another try on there. Oh, instantly miles better. So let's get the plate on. Right, so that's one plate on there, the other plate's on there. So now all I need to do is offer this up. So basically, it's hard to do with one hand again. So offer that up into place. So I'll get it 50-50 on that end to that end. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to spot weld it in place, because if you can imagine, if I drop that now, see the other holes, you can't actually access them from there. So once I get these spot welded on, what I'll do is I'll take this bar off, and then this will then have these plates spot welded to it, and then I can back drill the holes back through this from the plate. So I need to go and grab the welder, unfortunately, which I really can't be bothered doing right now because it's outside and I'm outside and it's inside in the garage, and it's a big faff dragging it out. Let me think of another way. So I've just dragged all my welding rig out, got it down here, turned the bottle on. As that, gauges aren't moving. Fucking bottle's run out, hasn't it? Even though it's been turned off on the valve of the bottle. I don't know. So anyway, can't do any welding now because this thing here is empty. So bugger. I'll carry on with video tomorrow, I think, because I ain't got anything to do now, so I might as well just wait till tomorrow when I got a new bottle. Right, so it's the morning after that last little clip. As you can see, I've now got my hat on because it's cold. So yes, luckily, a guy at the end of my street has his own welding shop basically. So I gave him a call up, and he's brought me a bottle of gas down. Obviously got to pay for it, like, but he's brought it for us. So I've got a fresh one here. It's saved me having the trip out to go and get it. So just installed the bottle. Welder's ready to go. So let's get it turned on. We'll get welding this here metal bar onto plates. Right, so I've just stuck a quick spot weld on each end, and now I'm just going to try the bumper, make sure it fits, because last thing I want to do is weld all this lot up and then the bumper don't fit, so that'd be pretty pointless, wouldn't it? So let's get the bumper on and see how it goes from there. So everything seems to fit alright. Even inside there, you can see that clearly. Well, I forgot my torch, but there's still a little bit of flex left in the bumper. So nothing's been held up there, so yeah, we're good to go. Right, so this is what I was meaning before. So as you can see, when I roll that over, those holes are now perfectly in the centre of that metal bar. So I'm going to back drill through these, through the bar, and then the bolts then have something to come through into the chassis. Right, so that's the plates welded on, both ends. Not my finest of welds, but they'll do. So now all I've got to do is just roll this over and then back drill through these plates, through the tube, and then that's about it really. So not too far off now. So yeah, now I've got these opened up, transferred through from the bracket from the other side. All I now need to do is open up these front face holes here, so that when I put the bolts in, the bolts actually clamp up on the lower face and actually clamp it shut. So if I put the bolts on this face, when I tighten these up, it's just going to want to deform this face and pull it in, so you get a better clamping force if you can go right the way through. So that's the holes done. Obviously I'm using a flared hex head nut, so you need to make sure that the holes you've made go in, but more importantly your sockets. No point in having it if the socket won't go in. So that's this side done. I'm going to crack on now with the other side, and then we're pretty much good to go. Well, I think my drill's on its last legs. As you can see, it's smoking. It was smoking a lot just before, but the fan in the back of the drill has stopped turning, so obviously the motor's overheated and cooked it down. See a lot of sparks coming out the back of there too. So yeah, looks like my drill's finally given up. So that's something else we're gonna have to buy now, isn't it? That's a full pull on trigger. Yeah. Knackered. To be honest, it's been the best drill I've ever had. And I'm telling you now, that thing gets some absolute hammering. I basically use it as a pillar drill. So DeWalt, you've done decent there. So no doubt I'll be buying a new one, won't I? So yeah, although my drill's giving up the ghost, she still gave me the last 2 holes that I needed. So that's them done as well. So as you can see now, I've got the clearance that I require. So yeah, happy days. Just gonna go get that pot on the car, and then that's me done for this video. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. It's been a little bit of a mismatch on this one, but hopefully soon we'll start getting some nice stuff going into the engine bay now that the engine is in, and I can actually get on with the important stuff. So yeah, watch this space, and I'll see you soon.